With Crusader Kings III, Paradox once again shows that they're the kings of grand strategy. My name is Catalina, and this is our video review. There are many games where your own decisions change the direction of the story, and they always try to be unique and unchallengeable. However, there are few that offer you complete freedom, in every sense of the word, so that you can decide for yourself how to continue or set your own final objective, and where you may choose how to walk the path to the finish line. Do you want to be a sadist and torture your prisoners? Go for it. Want to create your own religion and be the Messiah who is here to save the world? Sure. There's practically nothing you can't do in Crusader Kings III. 8 years after the second installment of the series, it still surprises us with its medieval world of kingdoms, duchies, religions, and betrayals at every turn. Paradox is once again a trailblazer with a third release that has it all. It brings us many improvements, enlarging the map and increasing its hours of gameplay. There are several concepts in Crusader Kings III that must be understood. In the first place, it's a game dealing with dynasties and not nations, kingdoms or mere territories. Where am I going with this? Well, every decision taken will affect the whole dynasty and not just the playable character at the time. Therefore, one shouldn't just think about what's best right now. For example, if you're in need of a powerful ally to help with an ongoing war, you can prefer an offer of marriage to one of your descendants, and in this way not only gain an ally and the military support you're looking for, but this matrimonial union will also affect the prestige and renown of both sides. Our playing style is something else to keep in mind, since it's not only a strategy game. How we choose to play our role will be a determining factor, a martial lifestyle aiming more towards the military, but won't have the same abilities and skills as a learning lifestyle, geared towards studying and knowledge. Each lifestyle will offer its own unique traits to help us overcome the various situations that we'll be presented with during our life. Because the game is made up of many different systems, the tutorial is very important for whomever has never played before, although Crusader Kings III is far more beginner-friendly than its predecessor. It's full of information, and in around 2 hours of gameplay, we'll explain all the systems and how they're used, as well as the keywords within the game. Everything of relative importance is highlighted and an information window opens, where the meaning and consequences of the word are explained. Every decision made and action taken will offer a new situation where we can decide the direction we want to move forwards in. We're placed in the year 1065, years after the Viking invasions, and will take control of the Great Duke Marchard. From now on, everything you do will be your own choice and based on the ambitions you have for the character, and we have until around 1450 to accomplish them, or more precisely, the fall of the Byzantine Empire in 1453. The map is larger than the previous release and goes from Iceland to India and from the Arctic Circle to Central Africa. This is one of the aspects that leaves the player up in the air, since there's no fixed final objective, merely suggestions about what you should do, whether to reclaim land or create a title. The map's divisions are made according to territories and their importance. That's to say, you'll see kingdoms all in a single color, but as you zoom in, you'll be able to see the boundaries between duchies, baronies, etc. These divisions are due to the fact that there's a limit to the titles and lands you can control, and you must delegate control to your most trusted vassals. However, as you delegate these titles, your vassals will increase their power and be able to demand positions at court, arrange marriages, or even ask you to join in wars they've just declared. One of the points where Crusader Kings III really stands out is in the improved graphics of the map, and in general where we can clearly see the areas where units will cross or the different climates of each regions, so that we can know the best locations should we have to fight. The court consists of 6 positions: the representative of your religion, chancellor, administrator, marshal, spy master, and spouse. Each position has a very clearly defined scope and skills. For instance, our spy master may discover if a member of our dynasty is under threat of assassination, or we might use this option to free ourselves of an enemy leader without anyone knowing. The marshal can train local troops to increase their rank or keep order in the county. Each member will increase their positive opinion, which will ensure that they don't defect or want to complicate decision-making by preferring senseless proposals. Among so many other things, like dynasties, religions, and conquests, the game is also about resource management and will have 4 available to use at all times. The main one is gold, which will allow us to hire soldiers, create titles, pay ransoms, construct and update buildings, and many other things. This can be obtained from the payment of tribute, taxes in this case, by our vassals, and if we're lacking, we can ask our religious leaders to help up. But he will only do so if our piety is high, the resource that defines how close a relationship we maintain with the religion, which in turn will depend on the positive opinion that the leader has about us, and the various religious actions we've carried out during our lives, and the decisions we make as we move forward. As regards the latter, if they're the right ones or those expected by the people who ask for help or advice, they will raise our prestige and that will make our diplomatic relations or title disputes much easier. And as we win titles, our renown will increase, so we'll have more powerful people wanting to ally with us or enemies trying to defy us. The number of options and situations that Crusader Kings III offers is the main reason for not being able to stop playing it, because the starting conditions as well as the traits and our title of nobility can be chosen before beginning the campaign. It lasts 400 years if we start in 1065, but we also have the option of beginning 200 years earlier, before the Viking invasions, when the conditions were a lot more complicated. The array of possibilities is very broad, from characters that can be bisexual or asexual to an extreme situation where a relationship between cousins ended in a pregnant dynasty matriarch, and it gave me the option for an abortion, with a slight chance of death, so that my spouse would find out. When I started with another character, I chose a more tyrannical and sadistic route, which gave me the option of torturing my prisoners, and once carried out, my stress level would go down. The game's possibilities are so many that they may seem overwhelming, but it's the only game where I truly felt that each and every one of my decisions had significant weight, either by increasing my prestige or facing my religious leader, defining marriage unions according to the best matches to increase my power, or the chances for descendants to receive certain traits from the match. All this is what led to those just a few more minutes turning into hours-long marathons glued to the computer without moving or becoming interested in anything else. In every respect, we're faced with the best version of a grand strategy style game, which amply surpasses the second release, and giving myself the liberty of being slightly controversial, is one of the best candidates for this year's Game of the Year when it comes to strategy. With a high number of mods to be discovered, until now there are over 100, the fact that even if you were to choose the same starting options, the campaign would never be the same, and a constantly active community, it's the game I would recommend to any fan of RPG-like strategy games. For all these reasons, Crusader Kings III has earned a full 10 points. At this time, it's the best example of a strategy game, and undoubtedly, it will stay that way for many years to come. Do I recommend it? I think the answer is obvious, but yes, I recommend it for everyone. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Follow us on social media and visit www.malditosnerds.com to stay up to date with the latest video game news. Thanks for joining us, and see you next time.